Welcome everybody to yet another coffee time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and I yap off into the void. Well met. Today I want to talk about defense agent, or rather I want to talk about that I'm kind of excited to see where they will take defense agents. So the game has 5 specialities, or classes or roles, whatever you want to call them. We have attacker, support, defense, stunner, and anomaly. And I kind of consider all of the other specialities to have gotten their glow up or like gotten their 2.0. The attackers, the supports, the anomalies that we get nowadays works vastly different from like the original version of that specialty. Prime example of this would be, you know, Grace versus Yanagi, both in terms of like damage and like also just in terms of like how dynamic the gameplay feels. And we recently got Evelyn, and Evelyn feels like she comes from a different game, you know, compared to Jujuan or Ellen. At least at like a base level. Evelyn doesn't have any like quality of life locked behind her mindscapes. Instead, they're all cherries on top, which I think is very, very healthy for the game. I still consider myself an Ellen main because I do think that Ellen is more fun, but that is hidden deep within her mindscapes. And for anomaly, in the beginning we had Grace and we had Piper. I feel like Piper in the beginning was severely overlooked just because she was an A rank. I quickly discovered that she was absolutely broken, but that was thanks to my girlfriend asking for like build advice, and basically the only 2 characters she had was Lucy and Piper. So I built my Piper just to help her out, and I quickly discovered that damn, she is freaking stronger than Grace and Nekomata. But like the standard banner anomalies that we had like back in the early days, they are nothing compared to, you know, the anomaly agents we have now. And this kind of constant evolution of anomaly, you know, culminating in Miyabi. And I wouldn't say that, you know, stunners are vastly different. However, I do feel like there might have been, you know, the first 2.0 stunner that we got. And a lot of the agents that we've seen are kind of a mix of 2 things. Light is kind of a mix of support and stunner. Because not only does he stun, he also provides a big freaking buff for the team. And we're still waiting for like, you know, official information on Trigger, but I think that, you know, she will feel even more advanced. And on the support side, we recently got Astra Yao, and if you compare her to like any of the old support from the olden days, she's a lot more dynamic and, you know, actually impacts gameplay, and she's you know, just a buff. She allows your characters to do chain attacks outside of stun windows. She allows for a very, very like switchy indie playstyle, and she just makes support characters feel like, you know, that much greater. So that leaves me looking at defense, and now mind you, as you can probably tell by the overlay, and if you know, watch me play anything, you will know that Caesar is one of my absolute favorite agents. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like she's the 2.0 of defense agents. She has a parry that is very fun. So does Ben. Like still to this day, defense agents, you know, they have one thing in common, and it is that they basically function the same way. They all, other current ones, they all provide a shield, and that shield provides different buffs. Ben provides crit rate, Seth provides anomaly proficiency, Caesar provides flat attack. So like right now, defense agents are just kind of a jack of all trades. They provide a decent amount of damage, a decent amount of days, a decent amount of buffs, and they definitely excel at like, you know, survivability. And like I said, and what is gonna be like the point of this video is I don't feel like we've seen the 2.0 of defense agent yet. Because if you just look at like a base level, if we compare Caesar to Ben, like the gulf is not that big. Like it's, you know, it's nowhere near like the gulf between Grace and Yanagi or Evelyn and Ellen, for example. And there's obviously a lot that they can do with defense, and there's some routes where I would like to see them. And I think defense agents have the potential to be something really cool. And something I could see in the future that we're getting when it comes to defense agents would be, say a defense agent that, you know, when you're about to get hit, they instead like come in from off field and like defensive assists, which could also be super handy if we're getting more enemies like the Raptor in Critical Shi, or you kind of have to deflect his missile just to get him to like, you know, stop. I could also see them giving us defense agents that, you know, are able to raise, you know, maybe walls or different obstacles. Also, if there was one class that, you know, is gonna be able to like really move enemies, probably defense, potentially stunner, which could be a kind of a like cool feature. Imagine, you know, picking up smaller enemies and, you know, slamming them into walls. And this is kind of what I'm hoping a little bit if we get Big Daddy, that he might be another defense agent, and that he might be able to, you know, maybe even throw enemies around. And I could see that like being a very fun way to take defense agents forward. Say that you can raise a wall and say that their defensive assist, you know, if you come in, you do it, you move the enemy backwards, but quite a bit. And if they hit a wall while they do that, you know, they They smash into the wall, maybe get a lot of days, and maybe their armor, like the defense, also cracks a little bit. I don't know, personally, I feel like that could be kind of freaking cool. And that is kind of the evolution I would love to see for defense agents, because if they are just, you know, gonna come in and primarily still be a shield, I think that is gonna be kind of a little bit of a letdown. Because Zenless also does have a combat system that, if executed flawlessly, we have no need for shields. Or if you play an agent like Miyabi that has an iframe on 90% of everything she does, you're not gonna get hit. And since we've gotten heals into the game now with Astraeau, I could see them adding, you know, characters with lifesteal as well. And now, if Hugo is a vampire, maybe Hugo is the one that's gonna come with it. But it would kind of almost make a little bit of a sense if, you know, we got a defense agent that maybe also was able to, you know, give out lifesteal. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the matter. So let me know down in the comments. Do you have any idea where you would like them to you know, take defense agents, what you would like to see? And what do you think the next defense agent will be able to do? I know maybe not too many people are fussed about just defense agents, but I personally feel like it is the most underdeveloped specialty so far, and it is the one that has like the most potential to grow. And in my opinion, it's gonna be super freaking interesting to see where they take them. People, thank you so much for watching Coffee Time with Hako number 53. And friendly reminder that tonight I will be hanging out with Average Luck Gamer over on Twitch. We're gonna talk about the game, do a fishing competition, and you know, you just generally have a good time. So link down in the description. Goodbye everybody, hope your coffee is blessed.